Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking on 7000 range Miele Induction Hob, and I will be taking you through what to do if you have fault Err031 or Err031 or possibly FE31, basically fault or error 31. Fault 31 usually means you have an issue with your power supply or with one of the phases of your power supply, but many cases it's just a faulty triac or triacs on one of the power boards. Unfortunately, the whole power board or module has to be replaced. So let me show you what to do and how to dismantle the hob, how to diagnose which triacs are faulty, obviously how to put it all back, and the most important, you're gonna have to probably program the hob after replacing the electronics. So stay with me, it's a quite long video, pay attention, and you should be okay to do that on your own. Before carrying out any repairs or maintenance, make sure your appliance is isolated from the power supply. Simply unplug from the wall or switch off from the spare. In our case, the hob has been already removed from the worktop and moved to the different place, so we can work on it very easily. What I usually do is obviously protect the surface with towel or any protective mats, flip it upside down and remove all the screws from around the edge. Then flip the hob back on its back and remove the glass so we can access our induction coils and all the electronics. As you can see, this hob's got 3 single modules on this model. The model we're working on, it's a Miele KM7678FL. FL stands for flush surface, so it's a flush fitted hob, so unfortunately had to be cut out, the silicone has to be cut out, and it's gonna have to be resealed when it's fixed. So also KM7678, it's a flexi zone hob. So what it means is basically a full surface hob. You can put the pan pretty much anywhere and it will start heating up. So yeah, just as a matter of inches. Be aware the hob is quite heavy as it's got many induction coils. As you can see on the video, it's got 2 center bars. Basically those bars just preventing from bowing the whole machine and holding electronics in place. So when you remove the screws, make sure you pull the center bars and put it somewhere safe. Now, we need to flip the hob upside down, but gently remove the glass, and now we have access to all control electronics and all induction coils. So what we're going to do, we're gonna start just prying those induction coils up, but be careful, they've got very fragile ribbon cables, so you might need a small pair of pliers. You can use your fingers if you're confident to pull those ribbon cables from electronic. Plus, underneath the coils there is also another connection which requires T20 Torx 20 screwdriver. Let's have a closer look on the ribbon cable. You can see the ribbon cable, it's connected, plugged in into the electronic, and it's got a holder, little holder on the right hand side. So all you have to do, just use a pair of pliers. I try to use my fingers, but it's too tight, and just gently pull it, and there you go, the connection just pops out. So what you can do, because some of the coils might look slightly different, you got the bottom, the top ones, the middle ones. So you can mark them up or put them in the same order somewhere else so you don't mix them up. Okay, all the induction coils have been removed. Now we have to remove all control electronics. So first of all, unplug the power supply from one of the power boards, and all the control electronics, they literally just clipped into the plastic brackets. So what we're gonna have to do is remove all the control electronics, only because there is a screws hiding underneath the brackets. Plus, there is a screws which they attach into the plate as well. As you can see, I'm removing the screws on the middle. There's a couple of screws in the middle, and there is a lot of screws hidden underneath those electronics. It's a bit tricky because when you remove those electronics, there's still plastic guides, and they glued in with kind of like a double-sided sticky tape, and some of them they have to be removed completely only because underneath there are T20 screws, and without removing those screws you're not going to be able to move any further. So let's first remove the small electronics and allocate all those screws. All the ribbon cables between small electronics, I just left it plugged in because we're going to be removing the whole thing, so it's entirely up to you, but later they might get mixed up, or if you want to unplug them, what can you do? Take a lot of pictures so you can put it back in the right places. Like I said, they just clipped in. There's a couple of clips around it. You can use flat blade screwdriver just to unclip them so we gain the access to the plastic brackets. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So as you can see, some of the screws can be accessible by just pulling the plastic brackets slightly, but some of them, unfortunately, they have to be removed. Now, the job of those brackets is to locate those electronics exactly on that metal board. So if you break one, or if you put it slightly out of alignment, later the little electronics, they won't be displaying in one straight line. So those brackets, they've got the plastic pins, like a pin locator, so it's quite easy to locate them, but please try not to break them. I was trying to pry them up kind of from the middle, so yeah, don't break them, but it is quite tricky job, so take your time and remove them or inspect them where the screws are, because obviously if there's no screws underneath, it's no point to remove it. Just to lift them up slightly. The sticky part of the sticky tape is usually on the middle of the bracket, so you can check on the sides first. As you can see, this was the tricky one. The whole bracket had to be removed as the sticky tape is exactly in the middle and the screw is just right next to it, so there was no way we could just bend it out. I have to remove the whole bracket gently. If you take your time with a small screwdriver, you should be okay. As you can see, the plates start moving, but we still have many more screws to go. Finally, the metal plate is moving. All you have to do is just slide it out, and there you go, the plate is gone. We got 3 individual modules, and now what we're going to do is to test the triax. What we need is just a very basic multimeter. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, as long you can do resistance on your multimeter, you absolutely fine. So what we're testing here is, you can see triax with 3 legs, and we also got triax with the 4 legs. So basically what you want to do is keep holding your one of the probes on the middle, and then move the probe, the other probe, to the right leg and to the left leg. Now, resistance, it cannot be lower than 10 kilo ohms. If your resistance is less than kilo ohms, it means the triax is faulty and the whole module needs to be replaced. On the triax with the 4 legs, try testing both legs on the left hand side and both legs on the right hand side. Again, they should have more than 10 kilo ohms. Anything under 10 kilo ohms, the module is faulty, needs replacing. As you can see, I'm only using cheap multimeter from Amazon. I think it cost me about 8 quid. That is, I'm showing you this just to show you, you don't need fancy equipment to diagnose faulty triax. So yeah, 8 quid on Amazon, it does the job. Very important thing is also to just check the fuse on your filter board, because you might just have a faulty fuse, and obviously you're not gonna have any power going through the board. But fuse goes for the reason, so usually when the fuse is faulty, the triax or couple of triax are gone. In our case, we have a faulty triax, about 3 triax on the middle board, so we will be replacing the middle board. In this case, it's always worth take a lot of pictures, as you will be unplugging a lot of cables, or you can alternatively mark them maybe with a marker, but make sure it's all marked up, so when everything goes back in one piece, it's all in the same place. There is no point me giving you any part numbers for any electronics in this case. It's only because there's so many different models, serial number, indexes number, and so many different variations, so you need to really order correct electronic for your model number. So as you can see, we already swapped the board and we rewiring the appliance now. Okay, all the wiring is ready, so we go to the next step, which is reassembling the whole machine. We're gonna put our induction coil bracket, so we need to make sure all the electronics are lining up properly, because you're gonna have to place that plate on the top of it and slide on all three electronics in the same time. Make sure they will lock in place so we can put all the screws back and reassemble the rest of the induction coils. The next step is replacing all the induction coils. So what you want to do first is to reconnect all the electrical connections, and then you want to place the induction coils back, as some of them overlapping on the top of each other. You don't want to just put the connection back on and put the coil back on, because you might need to remove the coil if it's not going to line up with the next one. So as you can see, I'm going to do all electrical connections first, and then realign all the induction coils. Gently place the glass back on the top of the induction coils, and flip the machine on its glass so we can put back all the bars and all the screws back. Now we can reconnect the machine and test it. But remember, this is Miele, so yes, you still have to program the machine, so it's not as easy as you think. It's not plug and play. Unfortunately, one of the electronics has been replaced, so now we have to program two things. What we're gonna be doing is programming the model dependent first, and after we program model dependent, we will allocate all the selection modules. To enter the programming mode, you need to locate on and off button and pause and play button. Now, to locate pause and play button, you need to switch the machine on. So, what you're gonna have to do is press and hold both buttons, and then just release pause and play and tap 5 times. On the 5th time, you have to press and hold it. So when you do that, machine goes straight to PS or P5. That means you in the programming mode, and you're gonna have a little keyboard available on the right hand side. At the moment, machine is displaying P40, this is what we want, and is displaying P00, this is the model variant. So we're looking on KM7678, and we need to change it position P40 to S02. Again, this is gonna be tricky, because without technical data, it will be difficult to establish which function you actually need to select. So you might need to contact Miele, or if you're lucky, sometimes there is an instruction comes inside the box with the electronic, so it will guide you which model you need. But I don't think there's gonna be any problem calling Miele and asking for model programming, they should be available to give you one. Next step is a bit more tricky. I'm going back to programming mode again, as we select P40 to S02 depending on my model. But now we need to go and allocate all the modules, as the machine doesn't know where you put the pan and which module it's selecting. So you have to now go again to programming mode, change it from P40 to P99, as then we need to change it from S00 to S01. Now, what's gonna happen if you changing to S01, you're telling the machine to start the procedure. When you press 01, then you have to switch the machine off, and then what happens then? The machine will start the procedure and start displaying the numbers like 103, 202, 304, and you have to press where the number is. You have to press that button. Basically, by pressing those numbers in a sequence, starting 1, 2, and 3, you're telling the machine this is the allocated zone. And after you do that, you just simply switch the machine off and switch it back on and put a pan on, and make sure wherever you put the pan on, that zone has been allocated. If for some reason let's say you put pan on the left top and the right bottom zone is lighting up, it means the procedure was unsuccessful. It's a bit difficult procedure, and obviously I've done it 100 times, so it's easy to show. But if you need to do it again and again, just do it a couple of times, or I already slowed the video slightly up, but try to do it a couple of times and you should be okay. Now again, if it's unsuccessful, you're not gonna break it. In that worst case scenario, you either gonna have no zones, some zones may be missing, or basically just completely scrambled. But remember, P40 is programming the model number, P99 is allocating the zones. I hope this video was helpful. As always, if you have any questions, drop me a comment, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, as this will help me grow this channel and make more and more videos for you, so hopefully you can save some money on repairs or call out charges. Thank you very much, and I see you in the next video.